Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team. This video is going to be on how to trade low float penny stocks. So I'm going to give you a few of the tidbits on what to look for, and then when I'm done, I'm going to show you a real life trade example of how to trade low floaters real time. So when doing low float penny stocks or when you're looking to trade them, what you want to do is scan for gapping low float stocks in the pre-market with a float underneath under 20 million, right? So float is the amount of shares that are able to be traded with the company. So the more shares that are able to be traded, the higher the float. The lower the amount of shares available to be traded, the lower the float, which equals more volatility. So if there's not as many shares of a company to be traded, it's going to create more volatility when people go to trade them, right? It's that whole concept of supply and demand. So if there's a lot of supply and the demand's not as high, it's not going to create as much volatility. But if the demand is high and there's not enough supply, that's what creates those huge fluctuation spikes. And that's what happens with these low floaters when there's not enough supply and the demand is there. That's what causes a lot of the fluctuation. So, typically low float stocks are stocks under 20 million. Under 10 million is really low float. So anywhere under that 20 million range is typically low float. Higher float stocks are anywhere, 100 million on up. So if you're specifically looking for low float stocks, you're going to look for stocks under 20 million. Search in the pre-market. Look for pre-market volume. It's not an exact science, but you'd like to see at least 100,000 shares or more being traded in the pre-market. And then you want to basically weed down your watch list to watch about 3 to 5 stocks. You don't want to watch too many of them. Watch more of the most popular ones that are being looked at. Trade Ideas has a very awesome pre-market scanner that you could search by float and volume and kind of nail it down. So you can kind of pull up Trade Ideas each morning, scan for the top low float stocks that are running, and then also research if there's a news catalyst to go along with that volume. A good tool that you can use for news catalysts is Benzinga. So you can look at Trade Ideas and then check Benzinga for news. And then what you want to do is map out support and resistance levels. And then when the market opens, you want to watch for volume spikes. And again, pay attention to patterns. Look for bull flag pullbacks, ascending triangle formations. Again, if you're going bullish on the stock, you want to see those bullish formations. Again, formations such as like bull flags, ascending triangles, even cup and handles as the stock falls off and forms that cup base. Watch for it to move up. You're looking to take, stock or entries at support levels, or you can wait for, so you can get in anticipation of a break of a resistance level on a pullback, or you can let the stock break out, come back and retest, hold support levels, then look for entries on a confirmation. And then what you want to look to do is exit trades at resistance levels or when reversal patterns take place or when there's breaks of trend line. So let's take a look now at a real world example on how to trade a low float penny stock. So I want to show you here, we're looking at DGLY. You can see DGLY had kind of this kind of flag or that ascending triangle that's kind of a flat top forming here. And you'll see price is going up and it's breaking up over high of day. So we got to wait for this 5-minute candle to complete and see what happens. So you'll see it's breaking above high of day. It broke out, formed a new high. Now it's coming back down and it's retesting right around this 9 EMA. So here's where we look and see, will this 9 EMA hold? If so, might look in for a possible flag breakout over previous high. So let's let this 1 minute form. I'm going to put my auto send on here. You can see about 1,000 shares. If price can break above that 217 after this 5-minute candle closes, I might look to get in. We'll see right above that 217, 218 area. It's kind of a lower float stock. It says 26.5 million shares, so it's probably under 20 million float. Got some volatility here. So let's see if price can go and break above that 218.19 area. We're going to watch for see if buyers will come in over here and get a wall of buyers to break out above that, kind of that right over in here, that 218 area. For a possible flag, you can see, I want to see if it's going to be a flag breakout. Let's see here. Right over here, you can see kind of a flag formation. So price went up, kind of formed this kind of flat top, ascending triangle, flag, broke out, created a new high around 221. Now it's pulling back and consolidating. And we'll see if this is a bull flag or see if it's going to end up failing. Wait for another 10 seconds on this candle here. Watch and see it's creeping right around that 217 area. So let's see if this candle closes. If so, I might get in at the break above if we see some buyers. I can hit the ask on this. It's pretty tight bid-ask spread. It's 1 cent differential right now. So we're going to watch and see if the buyers come in over here on time and sales. Looking for that 218 area right up there. I just went long. Got filled at that 217, 218 area. So we'll use this area, this 217. You know, I want to see it get above that 221 is resistance. I'd use a close below this, kind of that 216, a close below this 9 EMA as a stop. You'll see right now it's struggling. It's hitting that resistance. So we'll watch and see here, kind of a little bit of a fake move up. So we'll watch and see, give another 10 seconds. It's smacking down off that 9 EMA. Let that candle close. Bouncing. Right here, it's still right near that 9 EMA. Bouncing off that 9 EMA. Right here, still has that flag formation. It's bouncing off that 9 EMA. Right back up to that 217 area. So again, kind of a flag formation. We can turn it around over in here. Kind of just do it like this at the moment. So watch and see. Use that 9 EMA. Very important area as a guide. So you'll see right here, had a little bit of a break up and then came right back down. So we're going to watch and see. Another 20 seconds left on this candle. See if it forms and if that flag holds. If not, again, we can use that 9 EMA as a guide. If there's a close half a candlestick or more below here, then we might just stop out, and that's fine. So right here, bouncing right back up. Another 3 seconds, like to see that. So now we have it back down, retesting. Don't be surprised. Again, many times these price goes up, cuts down into a candle, so it'll go up, cuts down, goes back up. So now we like to see this right here. So a possible bull flag breakout. So now it's moving up. We're going to use that 221 as resistance. So it's a flag breakout. Now at this point, I'm using that kind of that 217 level as kind of a stop loss. I like to kind of keep my stop losses very short. So now again, or very small, I like to keep my losses. So right here, kind of retesting down. Bouncing around. You'll see this is, again, a lower float stock, so it's going to be a little bit more volatile. And as you can see, as we go up here, yeah, so it's about probably under 20 million float. So we have another 2 minutes or so, or minute left for this candle to complete. This could be forming a double top. So again, we want to see this thing hold its highs and go and break out. Right now, it's kind of got a double top pattern here going on, but we can use this 9 EMA, this blue line right here, as a close level or a support level. So you'll see it's kind of retesting there now. Might be waiting for some time for it to catch up, or it can end up failing, right? So if we get a close below that 9 EMA, I'm going to stop out. If not, I can stay in the trade. So you can see here, I can kind of do my, I can do my trend lines like this. So angular support here, or kind of out in here, so you can see some support. Want to stay right in this level here, this angular support level, and I want price to stay above and continue up, and ideally go and break above high of day. If not, if it fails these support levels here, I can use again that 9 EMA. I can just remove this, and you can see that 9 EMA is a great guide. So I don't even really need those support levels. I can just kind of remove these right now, and at this point just use the 9 EMA as my guide. So if there's a close below that 9 EMA, I'll consider getting out. If not, and it continues up, I'll watch and see. Is it going to break above that high a day? Is it going to continue up? We'll have to watch and see. There's some clear window right now on a 1 minute. Let's take a look at the other chart setups. Right here, you can see resistance right around kind of that 222-ish level as well. So I got to watch and see if price can get above there. Let me just kind of draw my right here. I want to see if price can get above that 222-ish level. If so, again, you can see that black line is the 200 SMA, right around that 217. Again, that's a very important level. We'll see if it can stay above that 217-ish level. If so, it's got a window to go, and you can see some resistance, maybe up into 250s. So we can see kind of resistance between that 230s to 250s level if it can clear that 222. So I'll just kind of move it back here. Watching see, you can see it's dumping right back down right now, retesting that 9 EMA. If it closes below the 9 EMA, I'll get out. If not, I'll stay in. All right, so you can see right here, the candle hasn't completed. Look at that. It cut right down towards that 20 EMA, that red line, which is also the 13 EMA right inside here. It cuts down. The candle didn't complete, tries to shake me out and stop me out. But look, it's staying above that 9 EMA. I'm still in this trade. Now I want to watch and see. It's at resistance, that 222-ish level. So I want to see if price can go and break above that level. And right now it's right at that 222. So you'll see there was no candle close below this 9 EMA. So now again, I want to see price, this 222 level, very, very important. There we go. So as it's breaking above 222, want to see this level hold. So now at this point, I'm using that 222. If price kind of closes below this 222-ish level, I'll get out and just take my profits. Right there, it's rejecting right at that 222-ish level. Waiting for that candle to complete. Possible shooting starish candle. Gonna let it complete. All right there, so it's at resistance. We'll see another 2 seconds left of that candle right there. So right now there's still another 2 more minutes left to complete this candle. I got my entry, let's see, at 218. Again, I'm only up 30 bucks. So that 218 is right now about that 9 EMA. So right down here. So I'm still going to use that 9 EMA as my guide. Again, I want to see that 9 EMA push price up and continue up. You can see when I draw my trend lines up over in here, kind of this resistance level right in here. So it's at kind of resistance right around that 224. I want to see if it can break out and continue up. Again, I'll consider maybe getting out. I'll let the 5-minute candle complete. Let's see what it's doing here now. It's still holding its highs on this candle right here. But again, many times it'll come back down and it'll retest that area. So we'll just watch and see. Again, that 222-ish level right up there. It's hitting this wall of resistance. Don't be surprised if it comes back and retests. If it doesn't retest, then this thing might break out. So we'll just watch and see here and see what happens. Again, that 222-ish level I'm going to keep as a very important support level. It's showing some weakness in a retest. Right back down. Let another 30 seconds left of this candle to form. Right back down. See that? That 9 EMA. I just want to show you the importance of just kind of this 9 EMA that you can use at that short-term momentum. Typically, I would have just probably taken my profits up here, but I wanted to show you just staying in this right here. You can see it's above my stop level right now on that 9 EMA. So right below here is probably the 13 EMA right down in here. So you can see it's rejecting. It's falling right back down. If it closes below it, I'll get out. If not, I'll just stay in just for this video to show you this ride the 9 strategy. Again, I got it at 218. I could have scalped up here at that 224. But let's just show you how this 9 EMA works out right here. Bouncing again, a new candle on a 5-minute. Bouncing right off that 9 EMA, back up to that 222 level. So this is a very important level right here. See how this closes. And as you can kind of see when I'm doing my trend lines right up over in here, right? Connect these bases, it's kind of got this channel right here, right? So I can kind of watch here and we'll see. We'll see if this is a possible flag formation, possible another bull flag. If so, again, want to see it hold that 222 level and break out. But you can see right here, I'm going to watch and see if this is a possible flag. We'll see if there's some consolidation up in here. But right around that, my entry is right around that. It's below that 9 EMA. So watch and see here. Let another 10 seconds of this candle form. See what happens right around that 222-ish level. But you can see that 9 EMA is kind of creeping up, but it's right now at resistance right up over in here. So again, I could take my profits 4 or 5 cents, or I can wait and let this thing kind of play out and even right down if price closes below this 9 EMA, right down in here, even between that 9 and the 20, that's right around that 13 EMA level. So I'd break out, maybe take a tiny loss, or I'd have a little bit of a gain. But you can see a little bit of consolidation forming here. Want to watch and see if it'll hold that 9 EMA. All right, so you can see right here, it's still holding that 9 EMA. It's broaching right up here, staying above that kind of that 222-ish level. See if it can break out of this flag, go up and create a new high a day above that 224-ish level. So now I'll probably use my, move up my stop level right here, keep some of that profits, lock him in at this 222 level. If I get a close below 222, I'd consider stopping out. Right here, it's moving up. Right there at that 226 level, hitting resistance, right? You can see angular resistance. So price needs to get above that level right here. And at this point, I would consider it's another 2 minutes or so on this candle right here. I'm going to let this candle complete. I'll consider getting it out on this right now because it's bouncing. It's showing some weakness at this candle. I would have potentially sold right up over in here, but look, it's right back down. Let's watch this next candle right at that 222 level, very important level. We'll watch for this candle, another 30 seconds left to complete. So I'm going to be out right at this level if we get a candle close below this level here. So you can see the volatility of these low floats, right? They move up pretty quickly. But again, this one has a pretty tight bid-ask spread. So it's right down to that 9 EMA. See what happens there? Right back down. So I don't like this candle here. So we're going to watch this next one. We have a 5-minute candle about to complete right here. So this is a very, very important candle. We're going to watch and see how this one closes. We'll see if this closes bullish. Right here, that 222, you see how that 9 EMA is catching up here right now? So this next 5-minute candle, I want to see it get and break above that 226 level. Very important resistance right here. And right now, it's possible tweezer tops, 2 co-equal tops. So I want to see price get above that 226. There it goes. Like to see that. We're going to wait for that next 5-minute candle right at the resistance. Gonna wait and see here. I want price on that next new 5-minute candle to break 228, or I'm gonna be out and take my profits. I'm up probably $100, 10 cents. Another 12 seconds left on this candle, 10 seconds left. I want price to break above that 228-ish level. Right there, don't like that. I'm gonna just sell and get out right now. So again, this can keep falling. We'll watch and see. This one could go and rip and continue up, but it's at resistance. Kind of got tweezer tops forming right now. I'm just going to get out because just showing you here the price. I could stay, right? I could still stay and wait, for a candle close below the 9 EMA. But at the same time, you have to remember too, this is a lower float stock, so I don't want to just give back. I got a good entry. I don't want to give back. This thing could easily dump all the way right back down here. So it's showing some weakness again right up over in here. We'll have to watch and see what happens. But you'll see I got in, so it's 8 cents. So I scalped 8 cents on it. Again, just wanted to show you that, kind of a combination of kind of a bull flag or an ascending triangle. I got in at that 218, just showing you that 9 EMA, the importance of it. Again, nothing's foolproof, right? But these moving average lines are very popular levels to pay attention to, and you'll see it just kind of smacked off the 9 EMA. It bounced down to the 20, stayed above the 9 EMA, it broke out. It's hitting some angular resistance, so many times you can see this channel, you can see it's pulling back right now, it's falling back down. Doesn't mean it'll completely fail, but we'll have to watch and see if it pulls back down to these levels down over in here. So don't be surprised if it goes back to this previous level right here at that 222. So many times stocks will break out, come back down and retest. If the retest holds, it may continue up in this channel. If not, it could just be a failure and fall right back down. So let's watch this one play out. And as you can see, it's still moving up. So I sold a little bit early, but again, that happens all the time. I wanted to take my profits, and look, at this thing's flying now. So bounce, what did it do? It bounced off the 9 EMA. It held. It was just a little pullback, and it's continuing to rip, right? So again, I sold too early. That happens. I'm fine with it. There's always another stock to trade. I'm not going to worry and be like, oh my gosh, I could make more money. It happens. I took my risk right here. Again, there was a little pullback. It was nearer to support. But I don't like giving back my gains. I don't like getting too greedy. But this is that was a nice little 8-cent scalp move up. Many times stuff like this will happen too, right? You'll get a complete, like a move up like this, and then it turns into these crazy kind of high wave candles. So you might be able to get a little bit more, but this could easily go up and reverse down. It could fly or it could fall back down. We'll watch and see what happens on the rest of this trade. So right now you have kind of a high wave candle. It's a bullish one, so you can see it's happening right near angular resistance, right? No surprise. So it kind of price is moving out. Now it's coming back and retesting this angular resistance. Is it going to hold, or is it going to fall back down? It's a little bit further away from this 9 EMA, so we'll have to watch and see. So this is what happens when you see those low floaters, right? Again, these things get crazy and it can keep going up. So again, you have those volatile candles. I don't like messing around. I take my profits. I don't like to stay in them because, again, as quickly as they can go up, as quickly as they can dump as well. So as you can see, I sold too early and I could have still stayed in this one. So I sold on that kind of that little bit of a bearish one near resistance, and now this thing is flying. So another 40 seconds or so left of this candle. It's getting nearer to resistance at that 237. So we'll watch and see if this will continue to go or if it's going to hit resistance and reverse back down. And what is it doing? It is flying. And as you can see, this 9 EMA is catching up. So technically, that ride the 9, I could still be in this trade. Again, it's a little bit further away, but I could still be in, and look at now the 9 EMA is really catching up to it now. So now that 9 EMA is probably getting up closer. It's above where I actually sold at. So it's right at resistance now. So you can see these candles are getting stronger and bigger. A lot of volume coming in. And so you'll see I got in at, 218. I sold around 30. And now it just went up to 240, but you see what happened? So again, it's stuff like this. The candles get bigger and they get more volatile, right? So again, I sold down over in here, could have stayed in for this bigger move up. Now the candlesticks are getting bigger. What is it doing? It's retesting angular resistance. And what's below angular resistance? That blue line, which is the 9 EMA. So now we'll have to watch and see if it stays above the 9 EMA and continues up and continues moving up, or see if it ends up failing. So you got that retest happening right up over here. It's holding above that 238 level, and this thing is starting to fly. So we're going to watch right at that 250-ish level, see if it hits resistance and continues above, but this thing's moving. So I sold too soon on this one. This one broke out. But again, with low floaters, they can pump up real quick, or they can dump as well. So this shows you, again, look at the 9 EMA. It keeps creeping up and it's keep moving up, right? So again, I could stay in this one and still been riding the 9. So as you can see here, lots of selling volume coming in right now, right down here. And it's pulling right back down, right to that 9 EMA, which is right near or kind of that angular resistance here. So another 2 or 3 minutes left on a 5-minute candle. We'll have to watch and see if this is going to turn into a bull flag and continue up, or if it's going to end up failing that angular support level. Now angular resistance now becomes angular support, right? So price broke out of resistance, coming back down, retesting. This could be a bull flag. We'll have to watch and see. So right now, broke out of resistance. Now it's retesting support. We'll have to see if this is a bull flag and continues up to potentially break that 250, or we'll see if it's going to fail angular support level. Another about 2 minutes left on this candle. I don't like to play it when it's way out over in here, just with all the volatility. So obviously more people are coming in right here on the break of this hammer. I just don't like playing way out here. I like buying these small candles nearer to support, not out here near resistance levels. Again, this thing could fly and keep going up, but again, very volatile, low float stock. All right, so you can see right here, now you have kind of double tops going on right here. Another 5-minute candle about to form. Candles are definitely much wider or bigger right now. So again, this is all happening below that $half amount, that 250-ish level. So we'll watch and see if this is going to end up failing or if it's going to continue and move up. But you can see the candles are much bigger. Volatility is crazier. A lot more of the buyers and the sellers right back down, coming back down to that 230-ish level. Again, it's nearer to resistance. Lots of volume coming in. And so you can see it's not far off right now from where I sold that 227. You know, it's a few cents off, right? So I sold down here. I could have made more money. Lots bigger candles. These are the warning signs, this double top right over in here. Again, it can continue. It can hold support and it could fly, but you have to be aware of these are warning candles, right? So they'll shake you out many times to get you to sell too soon. And then other times right here, it'll bounce like this, and then it could rip and it can turn into another flag. So we'll have to watch right here for this. Right here, a new 5-minute candle. You can see it's still holding, so we can draw right over in here. Watch and see kind of another bigger flag. Watch and see. See that? So this shook, you know, this is trying to shake you out, right? To sell right back down. Now it's going back up again. So again, if you have your entries down in here, you can stay in it longer. But when you start getting out here, if you start chasing out here, it gets just much more crazier with the low floaters. So again, you buy low, these small candlesticks. You don't buy way out here, even though you can miss, you know, again, this thing can fly and break out, but you're still going to be buying high out here. And you can see basically triple tops forming right now. Again, that could shake you out and the thing can go and, you know, hold right here and then break out. This could be forming an ascending triangle as well. So you can see kind of it's holding this right here. Previous resistance now becomes support. And it's retesting. And you can see that blue line. Look at that 9 EMA. Still, there's not really a tiny little close here, but not a half a candlestick or more. So as you can see, it's right near this angular support level. So it's hitting kind of this resistance out in here. And we'll see right now. Now it's failing right back down to the 20 EMA. So these were warning candles, right? Doesn't mean it can't go up, but it's warning you to sell. The sellers are coming in, look right back down to where I got out right over here, right on that 230-ish level. So I could have stayed in longer and started to sell out here, you know, made 10 cents, a little bit more. So I sold too soon because I know, or, you know, again, the volatility, this is where with low floaters, right? You have to, you know, you have to determine, right? Do you want to make some profit, take your profits along the way? Do you want to wait? And, you know, again, you could have stayed in longer, not sold out here because you think it's going to go and break out. And then now it comes back and gives back a lot of your gains as well. So that's where you got to be careful, right? Get in these smaller candlesticks, not on these bigger ones that get very hairy. Because if you start to chase this, I could have easily chased this one and got right back in. And then I'm dealing with a lot of this stuff right here. So right now I could watch here for a possible little hammer. this may be forming a flag. If there's a small little candle over here, I might take an entry again if it holds that 9 EMA and can break out. But I want a smaller setup, a smaller candle to look to get into. Right? Possible hammer right above here. You can see the 9 EMA is kind of curling down, but right here, it's bouncing off the 20 and the 9, right in the 13. This might be a decent entry if we can get above that, kind of that 234-ish level. Might be another possible reentry. Another 5-minute candle is about to complete, so we'll have to watch on this one right here. Right here, a new 5-minute. Let's take a look at that candle. Zooming in, so you can see kind of those spinning top, high wave-ish candles. It's a little bit far away from the 9 EMA and a 5-minute, right around that 222. Let's take a look and zoom in. You can see here, watch right here, see if there's a bullish hold that can kind of move in here. Possible this one might be interesting again if it can kind of retest down. I'm going to remove this line right here. Let's see. Right there. You can see it's bouncing right back up to those resistance levels. So right now, this could be a bull flag right here. So this is a possible flag. This might come back, retest, and move out right around that 236 level. It's hitting that resistance. Another 8 seconds left. Want to see if it can break out of that 237-ish level right there. So now you can see kind of a flag. It can come back right down and retest. We'll see if it can hold right down here. So you see it goes up, comes back down and retests right down in here, kind of gives back part of that candle. See if it holds. If so, this might be a flag right here. You can see it's coming right back down to that 20 EMA. Watch and see how that 1 minute that forms. You can see right here, all that angular resistance, all this stuff's happening right over in here as well. So you'd like to see, if it's going to be another entry, you'd like to see price get above over here, give you a small little candle for a breakout. So you can see, came back down, retested. It is creeping up right here now. Now I'll have to watch and see. It's forming right here. It's hitting that, still the resistance levels, right around that 240. So it's definitely a tug of war, and the bulls and the bears are duking it out right now. So it is kind of breaking out of that flag, but it could be a fake out here. We'll have to see if it can, that 237-ish level right here. So we can kind of extend it out right over in here. You can see kind of some new resistance, kind of a megaphone resistance level right around that 240. So now price needs to go and break above that 242-ish level. Again, for me personally, I don't like playing around with it when it's way out here with these bigger candlesticks near resistance. But again, it can go and fly. But this is where, again, showing you buy low small candlesticks. This is where it gets crazy volatile. All right, so we're watching here, see if price can go and break above that 242-ish level. It's right up, retesting highs at 242. This candle will be the 5-minute candle right here. So it's right between this 240 to 242 level. So now if you're bullish, you want to see price break above that 242-ish level. So we can just remove these drawings down here. Look at that, creeping up. Remove these drawings. I can remove this one. So that 242, 243 level, very, very important. So it's kind of creeping out here from this flag, but now it's got to go and hold that 242-ish level, and look at that. Smack right back down and right here. This is what happens with those low floaters, right? So right there, a little bit of a fake out, now a new 5-minute candle. So just wanted to show you kind of this video, just the volatility and what happens with, trading these low float stocks. Again, very profitable strategies, but if you trade, it's very profitable to trade low float stocks. However, you could also lose your shirt if you're buying way out here. If you try playing around with a low floater when it's way out here doing this, it gets very hairy. If you get a good entry, then you can stay through all of this. But again, hindsight's 2020. I sold here, and I can say, yeah, it was too early because I could have made more money up here, for sure. But if I held up here too, I also didn't know this was going to happen. I could get some bigger candles like this that could have wiped me back down way down here as well. So I can kick myself for selling too soon, or I can say, hey, I took my profits and it is what it is, right? So that's where, again, kind of showing you the areas of what it's like to trade these low float stocks. Entries are everything. You want to buy low, sell high. Buy low off support levels, those small candlesticks, hammers, dojis, little, small little candles off those support levels. Moving average lines, they're not foolproof by any means, but you'll see a lot of the stuff happens near those moving average lines. And that 9 EMA is a really good guide. You can see it was kind of riding up this 9 EMA, but then it starts to curl down, right? So it could be losing, momentum, or the volatility starts to get crazy and shifts a little bit. So it's kind of price is riding that 9 EMA. It's a very bullish sign, but as price starts to get way overextended, you'll see it kind of gravitates back down and wants to pull back down, and you'll see the volatility that happens when price gets overextended. So hopefully this video on trading low float stocks helps you, and we'll see you in our community. Enjoy.